Greetings, ladies and gents of the courtroom. It is I, your Honorable Judge Scythe Jackal, and today we're doing a tier list. What's the tier list about? It's a Smash Brothers tier list, ranking every single Smash game together. We're just going to rank them all, and oh, hey, Mario Brothers is there. Okay, nah, this is a Nintendo game tier list. Because I've tried to record this multiple times, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I love Nintendo, love their games. That's how I got introduced into gaming. Even though I try not to play too much anymore. And I love their franchises. I love their characters. Despite the fact that they're a terrible company with terrible management and how they treat their fans, I still love their games. And today we're going to be ranking them all. I think I've played a good amount. I haven't played all of these, obviously, because I touch grass. But we're just going to hurry up into the tier list. And yeah, all right. No Strong Opinion is a game I've put some time into. I'm explaining the tiers right now. No Strong Opinion is a game I've put some time into, but I never finished, or I never was interested, or I just don't have an opinion. Didn't Play is a game I've never played, and I don't really care to play. F is just an awful game. Don't play it at all. Like one redeeming quality, but everything else is awful. D is a mediocre game, like a 6 out of 10. Has some good things, but a good amount of bad things too. C tier is a good game, 7 out of 10, with a load of issues. B tier is a great game with some issues. A tier is an amazing game with a few small issues. S tier is a nearly flawless game with some issues. And Masterpiece is, in my opinion, just a straight up perfect game. There's like almost nothing wrong with it. All right, let's get into this. Smash Melee, no strong opinion. Never grew up playing the game. Smash 64, take what I say about Melee, but put it into Didn't Play. All right. Super Smash Brothers Brawl. S. S. Brawl was my first Smash game, and I love it. I love so much about it. I love the art style. I love the roster, like the inclusion of Snake and Sonic. I love the Subspace Emissary. The Subspace Emissary is fantastic. And I really wish they tried something like it again. But World of Light was fantastic, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed World of Light. The items were great. New stages were great. Stage Builder was cool. Classic mode was fun. Not much to say about it, although I have a lot of memories playing with friends. I have some memories playing with friends and family and stuff. Smash for Wii U. Also S. That game is amazing. I have a load of hours into that game. Not a brawl. Love the new characters. Love the gameplay. Love the stages. I used to record like matches and put them in an order and make it like my own subspace, where it was like these things happening, because I really wanted to do that and I thought it was cool. And I really liked the Stage Builder. It was way more improved. No single player, but that's okay. Great roster. I'm saying a lot. Among Us. Sorry, that was cringe. Anyways, so yeah, Smash for Wii U, fantastic. And next up we have its 3DS counterpart, Super Smash Brothers for 3DS. We're gonna give that. If this was me back when I first played it, I'd say bottom of C, maybe even D. But I went back to it not too long ago, and I'm going to give it a B. I think the reason I didn't feel as hyped for Smash 3DS at the time was because I had already played so much of Smash 4, and I think I expected too much from the 3DS version. And this was like 2017 when I played it. So I had pretty much owned Smash 4 since Christmas of 2014. And I guess I expected too much from the 3DS version. Because you're a dumb kid. You don't know how stuff works at that time. But it is still a great game. Better classic mode in terms of how it's formatted compared to Smash 4. Some great trophies, like my boy Inigo from Fire Emblem Awakening. Thank you so much, Sakurai. Anyways, yeah, it's a B tier. Great game. Love the cel-shaded art style, too, and the new stages they introduced that weren't in Smash 4, so those were great, too. Great job. But now we get to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Masterpiece, absolutely. Oh my god, where to start? In my opinion, Smash Ultimate is the one of the best fighting games, or party games as Sakurai calls it. One of the best crossovers ever, one of the best fighting games ever, one of the best games ever, and Nintendo's best game ever. Bringing back every single character from all the past games, putting it into one, a solid art style, bringing back over 100 stages, new, including, okay, what else? Over 900 tracks, better options, crappy online, but, I mean, let's be honest, that's expected of Nintendo at this point. What else? Oh, yeah. Great roster. Fantastic roster. The new characters they introduced into this game was also amazing. We finally got Ridley. We got King K. Rool, which, I mean, Ridley is my main, so that's awesome. We got King K. Rool, Simon and Richter Belmont, Isabel, Inkling, Ridley, Dark Samus, Chrom. So many characters that a lot of people wanted. And then the DLC. We started out with Piranha Plant, which was hilarious, and then we got Joker from Persona 5, which I got into and played Persona 5 because of that inclusion, and Persona 5 Royal is one of my favorite games of all time. So, yeah. And like the other character inclusions, Pyra and Mythra were great. New stages were great. Stage Builder was a mistake, but in a good way. A great classic mode. I love how they went with more variety with boss fights, especially Sephiroth's, because you can fight every single boss fight in that classic mode route. Great new inclusions. Truly so fun with friends and family and like other people. It's just an amazing game. I love it. Granted, I don't play it too much anymore because, yeah, I got other things to do, but it's still so many memories and still so much love for it. Okay, next up we got, now we're moving on to Mario. Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels. D tier. It's just the original, but like it's more challenging, but there's some pretty bullcrap elements in the game. Like there's a poison mushroom. It's like, what's the point of the poison mushroom? Why have it in this game? But the levels are not super fun. So yeah, it's just a D tier. The original Mario Brothers, B tier. This is a classic. Saved the video game industry. Put Nintendo. Actually, it was Donkey Kong that put Nintendo on the map. But Mario Brothers saved the video game industry after E.T. for Atari pretty much destroyed it. It's fun to still go back and play. It's funny how so many people are like big fans of it, but they've only played like 2 levels. But that's just like a joke I heard somewhere, so don't quote me on that. But it's a very fun game. I played the All-Stars version and beat it. It was great. I love this game. It's really good. New Super Mario Bros. 3 is also a great game. Good power-ups. Good music. Cool boss fights. Not much to say. New Super Mario Bros. 2 but is getting a. This is my personal favorite when it comes to the old school Mario games. I love the music, which is funny because in Japan it's not New Super Mario Bros. 2. This game right here is New Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. This was another game, but they reskinned it, reimagined it, I don't know, as a Mario game. So that was cool. It's still a great game. Boss fights are good. I like how you have 4 characters to choose from and each one's different. That's a really good idea that they implemented. So, yeah. Great, awesome game. Super Mario Land, never played. Mario 64 DS. I played a solid amount. I'll give it a C tier. It's okay. It's Mario 64 on the DS, what can I say? Super Mario World is getting a top of A tier. That is a very fun and very well-designed game. Sorry about that. Had a hair on the camera. Not camera. Screen, sorry. Very fun game. Very well-designed levels. I really hate World 4, which I think is the ghost level, because you have to find a secret passage to move on. I didn't like that part very much. But aside from that, it's a great game. Good boss fights. Good music. It's a classic. What more could you want from a classic platformer? New Super Mario Brothers, the original. It's an A. It is so good. It is a great game. Great worlds, great power ups. It makes me sad that so many people look back on New Super Mario Brothers Wii and the original New Super Mario Brothers negatively, probably because there were so many other games in the series that were just like we got two New Super Mario Brothers games in 2012 in the same year, and they were both like super similar to each other and the other games. So I think that's why a lot of people look back on these games poorly because it kind of spawned the New Super trend where we got so many games in a short amount of time that were all very similar to each other. Nintendo was kind of pulling an Activision or an EA at that time. Granted, they're kind of doing that in this day and age, but not in this way. Okay. So, Super Mario Galaxy 2, masterpiece. That game is a masterpiece. Unique levels, solid boss fights, phenomenal soundtrack. Really, just beautiful game altogether. Super Mario Odyssey. Crap. This one's hard. Do I put it in masterpiece or top of S? Man, I have so many good memories. Such a unique game, so fun to play. It was the reason I wanted a Switch in the first place. Yeah, you know what? Masterpiece. Yep. Super Mario Odyssey is fantastic. It was the reason I wanted a Nintendo Switch. And what do you know? I got one in 2017. Yeah, I love the Cappy ability. I love the ability to control other characters. I love the worlds because some of them were unique. Some of them were regular Mario worlds with unique twists. Like the desert, whatever it's called. It was like a desert, but there was some ice elements in it. It was more, and some of it was modeled after like Mexico, meant to be based off of it. So that was great. What's that one song? Jump Up Superstar. Yeah, that's a really cool song. And great boss fights, very unique boss fights, which I really enjoyed. And great utilization of the game's main mechanic. So, yeah, Mario Odyssey is getting that tier. Super Mario 3D Land. I'm going to give it B. This was my favorite 2DS game for a while. This game was practically the reason I wanted a 2DS or 3DS, and I absolutely loved it. I remember playing this on, plane trips. I would play this at the airport on my little 2DS. Those are good memories. The unique levels, good music. The boss fights aren't really that good because it's just boom, boom, pom, pom, and then Bowser. The final boss is really good, though. The final boss is very, very good. And I like the return of the raccoon. Is it the Tanuki suit or the raccoon suit? I don't remember. I think it's Tanuki, but whatever. Not the point. It's still a great game, but I feel like it doesn't have... It's like the most basic you can get when it comes to a 3D Mario game. But it's very basic. It doesn't stand out that much compared to the other games in the series. But it's still a great game in its own right. New Super Mario Bros. 2, never played. Mario Sunshine, I played a bit of it, but I'm just going to put in a strong opinion. Never played Mario Land 2. Okay. Mario 64. I haven't beaten it, because I don't want to, but I played a good amount of it, and, it's pretty fun, but I really don't care for it that much. I personally think it's kind of overrated. I feel like it's still a good game, it's still fun to control, and there's still some good levels, and it's iconic and all that, and it was the first big 3D platformer, well, one of. But I really don't think the game has aged super well, especially because I think its successors in 3D Mario were so much better compared to this. That's not really this game's fault. That just shows that they got better and better with making 3D Marios. So it's still a good game, but I just don't care for it personally. If And I know that's going to be controversial because a lot of people have memories playing Mario 64 on the N64 when it came out as a child. I don't have those memories personally. That I'm not saying that as it's. I'm not trying to devalue your childhood, but you get what I mean, right? And if people, I think a good amount of some people who say it still holds up perfectly well, I feel like those people are kind of blinded by nostalgia. No offense. Like, it's a good game. It is. It is a good game. It really is a good game. It is a very good game, very fun. The controlling Mario is great, but I just don't think it's held up very well. Sorry. Super Mario 3D World S. I know you're probably like, wait, what? You put 3D World high, but not 3D Land? And I'll explain. 3D World is awesome. And like 3D Land is great too. But 3D World was just great. It was Mario 3D Land done right. Every level in that game was unique. Every level in that game was its own thing. It had a great soundtrack. Again, the boss fights were pretty unique, despite some of them being super duper easy. But they were still fun, nonetheless, even though Boom Boom and Pom Pom returned, which, like, oh, I switched to tears. Oh, God. Sorry. I switched to tears on accident. My bad. Anyways, so it's just a great game. I love the cat power-up. The boomerang returning was great from Mario 3D Land. The cherry power-up was cool. I like how there were 4 playable characters, 5 if you beat the game and you played a few of the Star World levels. I played a few of them. They were pretty cool. Otherwise, very fun, very enjoyable game. Super Mario Galaxy, though, is getting the second place of Masterpiece. Mario Galaxy is my favorite Mario game, period. I think it is the best one. I think in terms of level design, in terms of music, in terms of story, which, I mean, like, let's be honest, a majority of people don't play Mario games with a story, unless you're playing, like, the RPGs, which, yeah, that makes sense. But it was just such a good... Yes, I put Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition above Wind Waker. I really think it's way better than Wind Waker, personally. It's still a great game. I mean, it's amazing. I love the roster choices. I just love Warrior-style games. They're just fun hack-and-slash titles. Okay. Metroid 2, Return to Samus. Didn't play. Metroid Prime 2. Started it, but didn't get far, so no strong opinion. Okay. Metroid Prime Hunters, never played. I am a Metroid fan, so I will go over these. Super Metroid. That is getting... Did I enjoy it more? Yeah. Super Metroid is awesome. Memorable, I think it's held up pretty well, with the exception of wall jumping. That should have been fixed. Good power-ups. It's fun to play. The controls should be better. I think the controls could be better. It has great and iconic boss fights. It's fun. It's memorable. It's just an amazing game. And I get why people love it so much. Metroid Fusion. Giving that an A. Metroid Fusion is a great game. It feels good to play. It's fun. It has good controls, good power-ups. The atmosphere is very good. The SAX is terrifying. The boss fights are pretty solid, like Nightmare. Nightmare is a really good boss fight. And the final boss is pretty good. The reason why it's down here is because it's kind of linear, which, I mean, is fine with me. I don't mind linearity, but I know a lot of Metroid fans do not like how linear Fusion is, but I still think it's an awesome game. I don't like the difficulty that much. I know this is me complaining about difficulty, but I think Fusion has a lot of bullcrap moments in the game, such as the damage that enemies do. I know it's because you're weaker, and that's the point, but just because it's the point doesn't mean I have to like it. So, yeah, that's my problem. Enemies, even like base enemies, deal too much damage. It's I play this on normal mode, so I can't even imagine playing on higher difficulty. But still, great game. Metroid Prime 3, bottom of S. I loved Prime 3. I thought the boss fights were awesome, especially Omega Ridley. I thought that the game's Phazon mode, I think it was called, Outbreak mode, whatever. I thought that was really cool. I really liked that, even though it was very OP, and it could just melt boss fights with it. I really liked the boss fights. Even though like there's voice acting in the game, I was fine with that. I liked the use of the gunship. What does this game remind me of? I don't know, but it was still a great game. I still really enjoyed it, and it was very fun. Metroid Prime is getting Masterpiece. That is my favorite Metroid game. It is the GOAT. I remember watching it when I was younger, and I was like, man, I really want to play this. And then 2021, I bought the game on the Wii U, and I played it, and it was fantastic. It was a masterpiece. There's backtracking, a good amount of it, but that's fine with me. The power-ups are really good. The progression is nice. The areas in the game are awesome. The game feels great. I love the visor stuff. I love the boss fights. I love the music. I think that the Phazon suit is great. And yeah. Oh yeah, the atmosphere. Mwah, top notch. Amazing atmosphere. And fantastic game all around. Original Metroid, that's a straight up D tier. That game has not held up well at all. It's tedious. It's convoluted. There's no map. It hasn't aged well. You're going to get lost really easy. It's just like a waste of time, in my opinion. Why play the original when you can play the remake, which is A tier, which is a really good game. Very fun, very fast, very smooth. Good inclusions, I think. New extra missions. It's pretty short. It's like you can beat it in like 3 hours, maybe less. If you're attempting a speed run, like if you try to do a speed run, you might beat it in less time. But it's still a great game. I think it's a good beginner Metroid. It's not super hard, but it's not like a cakewalk. It's not like the game holds your hand all the time. Okay, that's good. Metroid Samus Returns. I'm going to put it in no strong opinion because I got like 2 hours into it. I haven't played it in a while. It's a very fun game. Very enjoyable. I really like the combat, but Metroid Samus Returns to me feels like it doesn't have its own identity compared to the other games in the series. It just feels like basic Metroid game. I think the inclusion of Ridley near the end of the game was obviously just for fan service, and that's coming from somebody who loves Ridley, who thinks he is awesome. But I think Ridley's inclusion just felt it just felt out of place, considering he wasn't in the original Metroid 2. But that's enough about that. And Metroid Other M, never played Federation Force, so that's that for Metroid. And like I said, we're going to speed past some of these games. Luigi's Mansion 2, aka Dark Moon, is a really good game. It's a great game. I think it's underrated. I like the locations. I like the gameplay. I think the boss fights are pretty good. I think it's not as scary as the first Luigi's Mansion, but not as atmospheric, but it's still a really good game. Luigi's Mansion 3 I never beat, but I'll still give it a B tier because the game's visuals are beautiful. The game is funny. It's unique. The new abilities introduced are great. I love the game's art. I love the game's like I love the graphics. I think they just look so good. They look so beautiful. It looks like a Pixar movie, kind of. Yeah, like a Pixar movie. If they just brought people from Pixar over to Nintendo, that's literally what this game looks like. And yeah, the original Luigi's Mansion I've never played. I've always wanted to because of how scary it looks. But yeah. Donkey Kong 64, never played. Never played Donkey Kong Country Land. Never played 3, Land, Barrel Blast. Haven't played a good amount of these. The original Donkey Kong, bottom of A tier. You cannot go wrong with the original Donkey Kong. It's a classic. Put Nintendo on the map. Still fun to this day. It's a classic. How can you go wrong? Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is getting top of S tier because I think it is the best 2D platformer ever. I know I have Mario Brothers Wii up here, but I still consider I'm having it up there for extra for nostalgia reasons. But Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze I think is the best when it comes to platforming. I think it's the best 2D platformer ever. It's difficult, but it's fun. It has well-designed levels, good boss fights. It is just, it's so enjoyable. A great campaign, great new characters. What else? Such an enjoyable game. It's hard too. It's like really hard, but it's very fun. Original Donkey Kong Country, I think, is getting A. Very good game, very fun. Donkey Kong Country, haven't beaten it, but I think I know what I like. It's just as good as the original, if not maybe a little worse, but it's still a fantastic game. DK Country Returns is bottom of A tier. It's still an awesome game, but I just don't think it's as good as the others. The Wii Remote shaking is kind of annoying, but the game has really good boss fights and really good levels, and it's fun. The Rocket Barrel levels are pretty fun too. I actually like the Rocket Barrel levels, even though I haven't played this game in a while, but it's still a fun game, in my opinion. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, though, is my favorite Donkey Kong game ever. I love this game. I watched videos on it when I was younger, and then I played it for myself on the Wii, and I loved it. I loved it when I was a kid. I loved just shaking the Wii remote and nunchuck rapidly to like punch animals or whatever, like the big beasts. I loved the boss fights. I think that the game was really fun. I thought the levels were unique and fun. I thought the music was good. The final boss was epic. I beat the game recently again. I beat the game again in one sitting. It's not even super long. You can beat it in like 4 hours. But it's such a fun game, very enjoyable. Not super hard, but not super easy. I love it. Fantastic game. Yoshi games. No, I don't really care for the Yoshi games that much. Oh, but here are some games I've never played the original Wario Land. Oh, here are games I've played. Yoshi's New Island. Bottom of D tier. Not that memorable. Kind of an art style. It's just more Yoshi's Island stuff. I just don't care for it that much. Yoshi's Island DS. It's slightly better. I just don't care for the Yoshi's Island games that much. I think they're overrated. Original Yoshi's Island. It's okay. It's pretty good. Not much to say about the Yoshi's Island games because I don't really care for them that much. Okay. Wario Land, Shake It. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. All right. That should have been a theme for this game. It's getting A. Wario Land Shake It is very fun. I love the art style. I love the shaking abilities. I love the boss fights. Well, most of them. I like the art. I love the art style. The art style is so good. I just adore that art style, that hand-drawn art style. It's very, very fun. It shows how like Wario's like this big, strong dude. Well-designed levels, fun to play. I like the idea of like just having to collect as many coins as possible. And gems or whatever they're called. I don't know. But it is a fantastic game. Wario Land 2 is also an awesome game. A tier. It is fun to play. It's simple, but it's fun. It's cute. I like it. Wario Land 4. I love Wario Land 4. S. I love the game's art style. I love the levels. I love the boss fights. This is my favorite Wario Land game. I think it's awesome, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who plays. The original WarioWare game. A tier. Such a fun, simple game. That iconic theme, the original cast, the Game Boy sounds. It's so nostalgic. I just love it. It's such a great game. I absolutely recommend it. It is so fun to play. It's so fun to go back to as somebody who never had a GBA growing up, but it is a game I recommend. Okay. Okay, next up we have WarioWare Gold. WarioWare Gold is getting top of A tier. Okay, maybe not above these games, but actually, yeah, there. WarioWare Gold is awesome. I love the returning minigames they had. I love the cutscenes and the dialogue. I thought the jokes were pretty funny at times. I think it's short, but it's enjoyable. It is a very fun time. I wish they would bring back voice acting and cutscenes like that in WarioWare. They had that, a bit of it in Get It Together, I think it's called. But it is an amazing title, and I absolutely recommend it to anyone who is interested. You should probably get it before the 3DS shuts down, before you can't use Nintendo cards anymore, which is in a few days by the time this uploads. So, okay, more games I've never played. Never played Twisted, never played Game & Wario. Snapped. I played a bit of Snapped, but I really don't like Snap that much. It's literally just take pictures and try micro games with it, but it rarely works because of the stupid lighting stuff. WarioWare Touched is getting a B tier as well. Still a very fun game. I like the new characters they introduced. And still, I like the 3DS touching with the stylus stuff. That's good too. Smooth Moves is top of A. You know what? No. S. Smooth Moves is my favorite WarioWare. It was the first WarioWare I played on the Wii. I have memories playing it with family. Very good soundtrack. Very fun to play. Very charming. Very good mini games. Very weird. And yeah, it is amazing. Now we come down to Kirby. I haven't played too many Kirby games because none of them really interested me that much. Never played these. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of Kirby. Or Star Fox, for that matter. But Kirby's Return to Dreamland is an S. That game is awesome. I love the level design. I love the co-op around it. I love the abilities they have. I love Marx. I mean, no, not Marx. What's his name? Magolor. Yeah, I think he's an awesome villain. Love him. I think it's a very fun title. I think it's got good boss fights. I really, really like... I just love it. I think it's a great modern Kirby game. Kirby Star Allies, though. Oh boy, that game was short. That was 5 hours long. I'm giving it a C. Kirby Star Allies. I think it has good idea. No. And then a bottom of B, almost C. It's a great game, like, under the surface, because, I mean, no, I like the abilities introduced. I like how they introduced so many Kirby characters. And some of the stuff is cool, like the villain they introduced, Highness and the Mage Sisters. Those were great inclusions, in my opinion. I thought they were awesome. My problem with the game is that it's way too easy. It has a huge lack of content. It wasn't even, like, complete at launch. It felt like they released it without even finishing the game. So that was unfortunate. It's very easy, very short, very boring at times. And I beat this in like a day, in like an afternoon. So it's just not fun, in my opinion. And I do not recommend it. I do recommend it. It's still a good game, great game. But there's a lot of detractors, and that's why it's at the bottom. Kirby Superstar is getting bottom of S tier as well. It is a great game. Very fun, very good art style, well designed. So many games in one. That's all I have to say. Kirby 64, I got kind of into it, but never finished it, so no strong opinion. Original Star Fox, it has its issues. It hasn't held up super well, but it's still a fun game. So we're going to give that a C tier. Next up, we got Star Fox 64. It's a B tier. I think it's a great game, but I personally do not enjoy it as much as other games. I don't really get Star Fox that much. I like the characters behind it, and like Star Fox and Star Wolf. I like those characters behind it, but everything else just doesn't really interest me that much, so we're gonna put it there. And I never got the true ending, so that was unfortunate. I just beat the game and looked up the ending on YouTube, then instead of wasting my time playing more of it. So put some animal. Pikmin, never got into Pikmin. Never got into Mother. Ooh, now we're coming up on Fire Emblem. This is what I've been looking forward to. So, Animal Crossing City Folk. Didn't play much of it, so I can't really say. Never played the original Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing New Leaf. I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan, but I really like New Leaf, so A tier. I liked how you could be your own mayor. I liked Isabelle. Very fun game, and you don't have to pay taxes. At least I don't think you do. No stupid Tom Nook, so that's nice. Earthbound, no strong opinion. I get why this game is loved, and I think it's awesome, but I never played it myself. Family member played it. So now we come to Fire Emblem. Let's do this. Okay, sorry for the cutouts, but there's a reason behind those. All right, we're almost done with this tier list. The Punch-Out for the Wii. S. I adore Punch-Out on Wii. I love the character animations. I love the boxers you fight. It's challenging, but it's fun. I love the gameplay. It's very simple but complex. That's what I like in the game. Great music, great bosses. It's just fantastic. Original Punch-Out is bottom of A. No, B. It's one of the few NES games that I think have held up well compared to others. And that's hard to do because the NES is like an old system. Super Punch-Out. Still a great game. I didn't play as much of this as the others, but it's still a great game. I really enjoyed it. Original Wii Fit. I think I played this, but I don't really have an opinion. But I liked it. Wii Fit Plus was cool too. Never played Wii Play. Okay. We're almost done with the tier list. Never played these. Now we're getting into some games I do know. Advance Wars. Never got past the tutorials. It's not that. It's good, but like I don't think I'll ever beat it unless I'm bored. Splatoon. Splatoon is really good. I never played the multiplayer of Splatoon, so I'm gonna put it in no strong opinion. Never played Splatoon 2. I'm not into Splatoon that much. Never played Eternal Darkness. Okay, we're finally almost done. Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort both get the S tier. I have so much nostalgia playing this game with family and friends. Just so fun to bust them out and play them with people, laughing, having a good time, making jokes. The game, all of the mini games were really fun. I think Wii Sports Resort is better, but still amazing. Really enjoyed them. Very like the perfect family game in my opinion, and it's simple too. One I definitely recommend. Okay, Nintendo Land. I'd give it a B. It's a solid game, but it's really only fun with multiple people. But it's still a fun game nonetheless. Okay, now we got these two juggernauts. Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. Both masterpiece. These games are phenomenal. I think Bayonetta 2 is probably my favorite action game of all time, aside from Devil May Cry 3 and 5. But it's still an amazing title. I love both of the games. I love all the boss fights. I love Bayonetta as a character and all the other characters. I think she's awesome. I want to use certain words, but I can't. She's really bad butt, I guess you could say. That was cringe. Sorry. But she's a great character. The characters around her great. The combat is super hectic and fun. I love all the abilities. I love the Nintendo references they throw in, like with the costumes in the Nintendo versions. And, yeah. Okay, now we got two games left. GoldenEye, the original. I played a bit of this on an old N64, and it wasn't really that fun because it hasn't held up well. But it's still, it's iconic. It revolutionized console shooters. Astral Chain. S. Fantastic title. Love the mechanic of fighting with two people. Love all the different types of legions. Yeah, that's what they're called. Love all the boss fights. Love the plot. Another score for Platinum Games. So that's basically my Nintendo tier list of every game. I'm sorry if there was a good amount of cutouts in this video. I had to stop recording at certain points. And I probably put this all in iMovie, but I'm not sure. But have a good day.